Thank you, Reverend Constant. Good morning to you, members of the clergy, excellencies, and other representatives of the diplomatic corps. Your Excellency Luis Almagro, Secretary General of the Organization of American States, and Mrs. Almagro. Staffers of the organization, staff of the Embassy of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, the congregation, parishioners of St. John's, Beltsville, here and in the virtual space, fellow Vincentians and friends. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this service as we celebrate a milestone in the life of our blessed homeland, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are truly grateful to have been welcomed once again by Reverend Constant and his parishioners, who continue to extend to us their radical hospitality. And it is indeed radical. Radical, of course, in the true sense of the word. Radical meaning it is rooted in their DNA. I draw your attention to St. John's mission statement, which is to share God's love with everyone, to bring hope and to change lives. And that is indeed how we feel this year, once again, as we celebrate the 45th anniversary of our independence with St. John's, Beltsville. The theme for our independence celebration this year in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is togetherness, prosperity, and perseverance. And Reverend Bramble, our very own sister, who delivered the sermon this morning, spoke about togetherness. The importance of being together can never be understated. We are together, we must remain together. We are only as strong as our unity allows us to be. Alone, we are mere vessels subject to all of the vulnerabilities and the vicissitudes of life, but together we form one unbreakable bond. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines has multiple reasons to celebrate our togetherness, to celebrate our prosperity and our perseverance, because we are constantly faced with challenges. And it is together, only together, that we overcome those challenges and can stand here today to praise God. This evening, my country will have, I'm calling it a festival of lights, but that's my own name for it. We are going to have our Independence Parade. It's going to be for the first time in 45 years in the evening. That is probably due in part to the extreme heat, which is whipping us all over the world. But also it is a way of celebrating with light. You might wonder how we could celebrate with light in the dark of night, but those who will be forming in the parade will be wearing lights, and it will be wonderful, it will be beautiful. And I encourage you to go on our website to see what this celebration would look like this evening. My brothers and sisters, I extend fraternal greetings to you all as we join hearts and hands to celebrate together the 45th anniversary of independence of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, our blessed homeland. On October 27th, 1979, our country regained its political independence and began its steady and sure-footed journey to adulthood, maturity, and self-determination. The trajectory has been and still is fraught with challenges and obstacles, chief among which is climate change with its devastating economic effects. Compounding the impact of these barriers to development and progress are the contracting fiscal space in which our small island developing state operates, the diminution of foreign assistance, and the instability in the geopolitical sphere. On this latter point, in this global village, no event, whether it is a climate-related occurrence or a war, leaves us, a tiny island state nestled in the Caribbean basin, unaffected. The nefarious tentacles of the conflicts in the East touch our daily lives in many ways, whether by affecting the supply chains and increasing inflation, or by skewing the balance of power and dismantling the established order which seeks to maintain good relations among states, thus eroding international relations and threatening the sovereignty of small states, pardon me. We are challenged. We exist in a high-risk, multi-hazard world, and so must seek to protect life and limb in every regard. In this context, it is essential for us as Vincentians to recognize the importance of living together in a stable democracy and of safeguarding our sovereignty. As we celebrate 45 years of this sovereignty, let us continue to celebrate and give thanks for our existence and support our youth, promote inclusive education, creativity, and innovation, and continue to excel in the international arena. I enjoin you to remain rooted in your Vincentian identity, and to be sure to recognize and honor those among you who elevate our beloved country through their accomplishments in various disciplines and in their works of charity. As Vincentians in the North American space, you have an important role to fulfill in ensuring that you support one another through the various diaspora organizations, and that you create opportunities for economic development and for participation in the legislative processes which affect your daily lives, living, and productivity. On behalf of the government of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, and especially Dr. the Honorable Ralph Gonsalves, Prime Minister, and our own Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Frederick Stevenson, I convey to you, the Vincentian community in the United States, deepest gratitude for your enduring commitment to the development of our country and for your generous support to various individuals, groups, and organizations, especially during these challenging times of need. And I refer specifically to the last few years during which we have been flagellated, whipped, beaten by hurricanes, volcanic eruptions. But here we are, we persevere. Our recognition and appreciation are extended also to your friends and associates, your church communities, who continue to join you in your relief drives and nation-building work. In equal measure, I express the sincere desire that you, your family, and your community will enjoy success and bounty in all your undertakings and endeavors. As we celebrate the 45th anniversary of independence, we give thanks for the multiple blessings bestowed upon our nation, our government, and our people. And as we say in Saint Vincent in our national anthem, may peace reign from shore to shore. And at this point, I invoke the blessing of God. May God bless us all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to express gratitude to Reverend Constant and to give God thanks for him, for his spirit of cooperation, for his love. I give thanks also for his parishioners, for his team, for they have for the second year consecutively leapt forward to assist us in every regard. I see Deb Stephanie, I see Miss Jackie, and I see others whose names are in my heart. I now have the pleasure to introduce and to thank the members of the Diplomatic Corps and friends, special invited guests who have joined us here this morning. And I would ask them to stand briefly and be recognized. Show your dazzling smiles. I would like to recognize His Excellency Victor Fernandez, Ambassador of Barbados, and Thank you, and his spouse. Thank you. Ambassador, His Excellency Lynn Raymond Young, Ambassador of Belize. Thank you. His Excellency Tarly Francis and Mrs. Francis and their guests. Ms. Lisanne Salmon, Deputy Chief of Mission. The Embassy of Jamaica. Her Excellency Elizabeth Darius Clark, Ambassador of St. Lucia. And please, Ambassador Darius Clark wants to have the Grenadines. I recognize accompanying her members of her staff, Ms. Dahlia Clement and Ms. Shania Stephen. And the young, handsome Clement boys. Her Excellency Jacinth Henry Martin, Ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis. From Trinidad and Tobago, we are pleased to welcome Mrs. Jeanette Sammy and spouse, and Mr. Kelvin Tanner and spouse. Please recognize His Excellency Luis Almagro, Secretary General of the OS, and Mrs. Almagro. His Excellency Kingsley Lane, former Ambassador of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, former. I say that. I say that only to tease him because he's a family friend and in honor of his silver hair. I recognize as well Mr. Lennox Simon, President of the SVG Nationals Association of DC, and his guests. Of course, it would be remiss of me if I did not recognize my staff at this point. Mr. Omari Williams, Deputy Chief of Mission. Miss Marcina Ballantyne. Miss Dia James. Mr. Winston Paul. Oh, Mr. Winston Paul he's the, oh, here he is. Thank you, Winston. We have with us as well Miss Yasmin Odlum, belonging to Saint Vincent and the Grenadines and Saint Lucia. So in her, there's a marriage of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines and Saint Lucia, a happy marriage. And Mr. Prasad Don is also somewhere around. He's also with the embassy. I welcome as well I see Chanel. And Chanel is with the embassy of St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, at this point, I would like to ask all Vincentians to stand and be recognized, please. Yes, please. Yes, thank you very much. It seems as if we have a visitor from a little way up north. Simone? I'm not seeing correctly through my glasses. Is that you, Simone? You live here, Simone? Okay, this is not... Welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, I want to thank everyone for joining with us today and celebrating our 45th anniversary of independence. Reverend Constant, please convey our sincere gratitude to Bishop Buddy. And I thank you. I thank Reverend Dr. Olivia Hilton, Associate Rector, and the Reverend Sandra Bramble, Deacon. May God bless us all. Thank you very much.